Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Football Guys Sunday Morning Live. I am Joey Wright, joined as always by my co-hosts Jagger May and Jeff Bell. How you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
I'm great, Joey. It is Sunday morning. We have more football today, week 7. Let's go.
Thank you, Jeff. My AirPods now are functioning correctly. I needed to blow some of the dust out, and you did that for me. Thank you so much. Guys, at 11:30, we're going to have Adam Hutchinson, Football Guys injury expert, here with us to kind of break down some of the injuries. But we're here every Sunday now from 11 a.m. until noon to answer all of your fantasy football related questions, mainly starts and sits, but if you throw some trade questions in there, we'll hit those as well. Following the show today, make sure to hop over to our Discord at noon, where Corey Spala is going to be answering all of your starts and sit questions over there, heading up until kickoff. But guys, we're doing good. I know both of our college football teams, both of your college football teams won this weekend. UCF lost just by a little bit there at the end.
I was pulling for him. That was close, Joey.
Yeah.
That would have been quite the upset.
A few years ago, we almost beat Texas. It was like the biggest game they had, and then they just didn't pull it off. But let's look at injuries really quick, guys. Actually, before we get injuries, I want to hear who you guys are starting this week. I want to hear some starts of the week. So let me go to you first, Jeff. Who is your start of the week? This is a guy that you're loving this week.
Latavius Murray is my start of the week. I think that when you see that Buffalo backfield, unfortunately, we got a little bit of injury clarity with Damian Harris being out this week after the scary injury last week. So I think that sets up well for Latavius Murray and James Cook to split the workload pretty evenly. I think Latavius Murray, we've seen get goal line work already. I expect a little bit more increased involvement, and I expect, as a Bills fan, maybe I'm being biased here, but I do expect them to roll pretty comfortably over the New England Patriots this week.
Awesome. And Jagger, who's your start of the week this week?
Well, I'm a Patriots fan, so that comment made me sad because it's true. But my start of the week is basically, I'll say all the Packers, but specifically Jordan Love. I feel like this is going to be his bounce back week. And right now, guys, like we've seen it is start your players against the Broncos, rinse and repeat. To me, it's full sail. You start Dubs, you're starting Watson, and they're coming after a bye week. So I feel like this is the get right week for this entire offense.
Awesome. I agree with you. And I don't have a pretty banner because I forgot to put it in here, but my start of the week would be Romeo Doubs. And actually, rest of season, I love him as part of this Packers offense. He's got Denver this week, had a bad week 5 game, but I think he's going to shake it off today against the Denver Broncos. And I did not mean to say a Taylor Swift song. That's not my lane, and I'm not even trying to do that today, guys. But let's look at some injuries real quick, and we'll hit these much harder in about 11:30 when Adam Hutchinson's here with us. But Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Fields, Roschon Johnson, David Montgomery, Kyler Murray, Pat Freiermuth, Kyron Williams, Greg Dulcich, and Deebo Samuel will all be out this week. Not expected to play today. Daniel Jones, Zach Charbonnet, and Myles Gaskin, even though he was activated from the practice squad, the Rams will not be putting him out there. They're not expected to, at least. Questionable for today. We haven't really got a whole lot of clarity on this. Kareem Hunt, DK Metcalf, and Christian McCaffrey questionable. That's going to be the big one with McCaffrey today. I know we're going to hit this a little bit later, guys, but if you have McCaffrey, what are you doing, Jagger?
You got to put him in there. We're in our little bye week apocalypse right now. There's only 6 teams going. And not only just that, we're at, again, the point of the season where running back gets thin. We know this. This happens every year. So I don't feel like we can afford to get too cute.
You need to set yourself up, though, because that is a Monday night game. And so that is kind of a difficult position, whether or not he plays. You need to set your lineup. So ideally he's sitting in a flex position, and ideally you have either Jordan Mason, you have Elijah Mitchell, or if you're in a deeper league, grab Ray McLeod, easy for me to say, or Brandon Powell to potentially put into those flex spots if he does not play.
Perfect. All right, and expected to play today. Deshaun Watson expected to play today. Aaron Jones, we've heard this before, but he is truly expected to play today. Darrell Henderson flying up out of nowhere, ready to start today. Julio Jones making his season debut with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a scary statement if it was 5 years ago. Craig Reynolds expected to play, and also Mecole Hardman traded back over to the Chiefs. Will be making his Chiefs season debut today. But guys, let's get into some starts and sit questions. Let's start it off with, let's see, Bruce was in here first thing this morning. In standard this week, would you play Palmer, Rice, or Romeo Doubs? And then Everett Kincaid or Jonnu Smith is the follow-up question. So pick a receiver and a tight end there, guys.
In standard, I'm going with Josh Palmer. I think that potential to shoot out in that Kansas City game. He had a big game last week, but it was all called back due to injury. And so I think that in standard, I like him to score a touchdown. I like him to put up some yardage relative to the other guys. Dubs would be more of a PPR play for me.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I lean Dubs by a hair for me.
Okay.
I can't argue too much about Palmer with Jeff there. And then as far as the tight ends, um, I guess like it's Everett and Jonnu Smith and Kincaid. At least right now, especially in standard, I don't feel good starting him right now because everyone else is getting the red zone targets besides him.
Perfect. Andrew in here. Good morning, Andrew. Would you go with Zay Flowers or Jordan Addison as a wide receiver 3? It would be Zay Flowers for me. What about you, Jagger?
Same.
Okay. And I see Jeff nodding his head.
Yep.
Andrew's got another question for us. Also, are you trusting that Aaron Jones will play? My other options are Zach Moss, Jordan Mason, or Jaleel McLaughlin. I am trusting that Aaron Jones is going to play this week. I'll get a little more information with Adam probably in about a half hour here. But Jeff, where are you sitting on Aaron Jones? If you got him, are you starting him today?
Yeah, if I got him, I'm starting him. And this sets up well because you have McLaughlin as a natural pivot off of Aaron Jones. So you can wait until that game time announcement, whether he's in or out. And so you don't have to really stress that early 1 o'clock sit with them being a later game.
Excellent.
I agree with
point,
Jeff. Yeah, because I like Jaleel too, but Aaron Jones is the unquestioned starter. So
perfect. Morning, Mel. Deep 16-team half PPR league battling buys. Better wide receiver to start. JSN or Wan'Dale Robinson? Jagger, where are you falling on this one?
Wan'Dale, he looks like the best receiver on the Giants right now. I know that's incredibly low bar because no one looks like the best Giant right now. Until we see it with JSN, I just don't think he's a startable player. And in some redraft leagues, unless you have the bench space, I don't see him being a rosterable player right now. So I know that's bold.
This is a situation I would want to have a 4 o'clock pivot because I know DK Metcalf, we're watching that injury, didn't practice all week, but was able to get in the limited session on Friday. If DK Metcalf sits, I'm comfortably going Jackson Smith and Jigba over Wan'Dale Robinson because I think that you'll see heavy usage for Smith and Jigba in 2 wide receiver sets. That's been the real problem. There've been a lot more 12 personnel with 2 tight ends.
All right. Ann in here with a question. She has the spookiest little avatar for us today. Bye-week gauntlet. No choices worth breaking down. So cats or dogs? Standard scoring. It's dog. I own a cat, but it's still a dog for me.
Who's picking cats? No,
I know. I have an orange cat too. I love him.
Yeah.
North Nova's got a question for us. 14-team PPR. Elijah Mitchell or Tyler Algier for a flex play? Where would you guys go there?
Can you pop it up for me so I could read it again? It's too early for me to. Thank
I was
you.
trying not to pop it up there. Oh, they got me. That's
okay.
fine. Sorry, Joe. I know. I saw it this time though.
I'm going to go with Algier for the safety. That's a safe floor play, but again, this is, I guess you have a pivot. I'm not quite 100% on the times there on who's playing, but I think I'm probably putting Algier in.
I like Mitchell. Give me Mitchell this week. I mean, you're rolling the dice on McCaffrey's availability, but he did run as the number 2 back as a change of pace to McCaffrey last week. So I think that if you get a limited McCaffrey, you could see him grow a little bit in that change of pace role.
I guess expanding on that, if let's say CMC doesn't start, does Jordan Mason become a start, or is he just not? Are we not starting Jordan Mason at all?
Jordan Mason is a definite start for me. If McCaffrey's out, I expect that they would split it something like 60-40 in favor of Mason relative to Mitchell.
Perfect. Thank you. Karen Attaway, Donta Foreman or Curtis Samuel in standard flex? That's a very interesting question. Jagger, where would you fall on this one?
Because it's standard Deontay Foreman for me. That if it was PPR, it'd be a different story.
Okay, I see Jeff nodding there.
Yep.
Francisco, welcome. Oh, that's a cute little avatar there. Full PPR with rushing 5 yards per point. Okay, that's a little fun. Alexander Madison plus Rashad White with Flowers flexed. On the bench, he's got Jeff Wilson Jr. and Henderson. Latavius Murray, Pierre Strong on waivers. Would you go out and grab Latavius Murray then, Jeff?
I would. I would grab Latavius Murray. I would play with Latavius Murray over any of Wilson, Henderson, or Strong personally. I think that I would.
What about Madison?
I would have Madison over Murray. They're very close in my rankings.
Okay.
Agreed.
Perfect. I'm really scared with Madison this week against San Francisco. All right, Mark's in here. Good morning, guys. In full PPR, I need 2 running backs and 1 flex. Ramondre Stevenson, Zach Evans, Javonte Williams, Jeff Wilson Jr., Rashee Rice, and Romeo Doubs. So you've got some great options here. Appreciate you guys. We appreciate you being here with us. Jeff, where would you go? So let's pick. He needs 2 running backs and 1 flex.
2 running backs. Your 2 running backs are going to be Stevenson and Javonte Williams out of that group, and a flex would be Doubs.
Nailed it. That's where I'm at.
Perfect.
Too.
And that's where I'm at as well. David Wynn in here. Good morning, David. Foreman or Jeff Wilson in PPR? You drop Zach Evans for Foreman. I would start Foreman. Jagger, would you be the Foreman?
Yeah, Jeff Wilson. We need to see it first.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so risky to put Jeff Wilson in, whereas Foreman might be a lower ceiling, but volume at least.
Yeah, we know what that looks like.
Yeah. Sunday Night Football nailed this game tonight, by the way. Like, how exciting is tonight's game?
Yeah.
We our normal local group of guys we draft with. Today we're foregoing watching games together. For the wives, we're like, hey, can we just go out at night because we really want to watch this Dolphins-Eagles game? So it's gonna be a good one. Micah Jensen in here. Good morning, Micah. Micah. I don't know what that is. Isn't that like what the vampires were called in the Underworld movies? Lycans. That's it.
Lycans.
George
and
Michael,
werewolves.
Hall of Fame basketball player from the.
There we go.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out where that was at in my brain. All right, what's up with the Niner backfield? Elijah or Jaleel in full PPR?
I like Jaleel, I think.
Yeah, it's a safer play, I think, to go with McLaughlin. I mean, if they had a similar kickoff time and you knew that McCaffrey was out, then it would be Elijah, but not in the situation that we have now.
Especially in full PPR, I think Jaleel is a weekly flex play going forward. So,
if Foreman's kind of been leading the charge of questions today, we haven't had any Jalen Warren questions though. Would you play Jalen Warren over Devonta Foreman?
Floor and ceiling play. If you really need to swing for the fences, I like Jalen Warren, but especially since it's half point PPR, Deontay Foreman has again a safer floor. Maybe he can fall into the red zone if Tyson Bagent can't get it together this week. Who knows?
Jeff, where are you at on that one?
I have Warren ranked ahead in my half PPR rankings, so I would go with Warren. That Chicago offense just terrifies me this week, to be honest.
Yeah. Good morning, Carl. PPR 12 team. He needs a flex. Jahmyr Gibbs, Rashee Rice, or JSN. Who do you cats like? Carl is definitely on the cat side. It seems not for dogs for him. He just needs one. It'd be Jahmyr Gibbs for me. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, yes. Comfortably Gibbs.
Yeah, Dan Campbell said he's comfortable giving a workload this week, so hopefully that's what happens for all my Jahmyr Gibbs shares because there's many of them. All right, good morning and thanks for these Sunday morning shows. Hey, thank you for being here. We wouldn't be doing it if no one was watching, so we appreciate you being here. Need to start Aaron Jones with injury risk or Alexander Madison with the 49er risk? I would rather trust the injury risk with Aaron Jones. Jagger, how do you feel about this one?
Same, like it. Yeah, the same in a question for me.
Yep, and you can wait to see if Jones is active, and if he's not, then you just play Madison.
All right, Dane in here. Good morning, Dane. JSN or KJ Osborne in the flex? Jeff, where are you on?
I mean, this is another one just like the last question, where if DK Metcalf's out, I play Jackson for the jig, but if he's not, then I play KJ Osborne. And as Zach Evans, I think he gets some touches, but like 2 are some. So.
But we haven't really talked about that Rams backfield very much. Who, if you guys had to pick one, who would you pick? And would you rather not start any today? Like, where are you guys
completely out? But I think that, I mean, if you really need 7 PPR points, then it would be Darrell Henderson. If you really need 3 PPR points, then it would be Royce Freeman. And if you were just bored, then it'd be Zach Evans.
That's a really good breakdown, I think.
On a different show this morning, my sits of the week were all of the running backs. Like if you can do anything else, do it. But I also understand if you're desperate and you're chasing points anywhere.
It was 2019 when Royce Freeman was a member of the Broncos, for the last time he strung 2 PPR double-digit games together. It's just hard for me to trust Royce Freeman, even though they say he looks like he's going to get the first touches today. It's hard for me to trust that.
There was a sleeper
then-
update that just came in that says that all signs point to CMC playing on Monday. So,
Hooray.
All right. Get him out there. Zach Evans or DeMarcado. And then Mageddon. That absolutely. I like Binado, Mageddon. All kinds of funds there we can make. Are you guys Evans or DeMarcado? Would you rather trust DeMarcado?
yes.
In PPR, yes.
DeMarcado.
Okay. Good morning, Bradley. 2 PPR. Javonte Williams, Josh Palmer, Rashee Rice, Wandale Robinson, Musgrave, and Sutton. Sutton's name's not popped up today at all. How would you guys feel about Sutton today if you need to start in PPR?
I've been Sutton over Judy for the last couple weeks, and that's played out. I think Sutton has kind of stepped forward as that Michael Thomas in that offense, and he's kind of the primary receiver. If you need to PPR flex, I think Sutton's the safest play out of this group. I think Palmer has a higher upside, but those are probably that, and Javonte would be my considerations.
Yeah. Curious who your tight end is, because I really like Musgrave as a tight end play this week.
Absolutely. Andy's in here. Good morning, Andy. Need to pick 3 half PPR out of Ayuk, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, and Jacoby Myers. You've got 4 good options there. I would go the 3 right off the top.
Yeah, to me, the question is Lockett or Myers, and I want to go with the guy whose starting quarterback is playing. And like Jeff's been alluding to, DK Metcalf may be out, and then that doesn't mean JSN becomes wide receiver 1. It means Tyler Lockett becomes the guy, and JSN is the second option.
All right, Turbo Squid in here. PPR flex: Jerome Ford or Christian Watson?
Watson.
Yes.
Okay. Long Beach native. Hope you're enjoying Long Beach today. It's early in Long Beach, isn't it? Hey guys, good morning from the West Coast. Please help. Half PPR, Zay Flowers or James Cook in the flex. Jeff, I'll go to you first. I'm wondering where you're going to fall on this.
Half PPR, I go James Cook over Zay Flowers. I worry about the Detroit match. I think that, I don't know, that Detroit matchup feels like one that we're hoping to get points out of, and it ends up being 13-10 in like the fourth quarter, and you're like, where are all my fantasy points?
It's hard for me to bench Zay Flowers, even though Detroit's defense has looked a lot better this year. I'm going to go Zay Flowers and make Jagger break the tie.
It's Zay Flowers for me in half PPR. I like the matchup. Like, I guess like I'm the guy that Jeff is talking about. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of points here. And the Lions have proven that they have consistent shootout games. But when lo and behold, I say that, then that's a trap game, and Jeff's right.
Every week there's that. I mean, I do the DFS show, and every week you're like, I love this game, and then it's 13-17, and you're like, what is going on here?
So Long Beach, if you like guys with hats, take the James Cook side. If you like hair, go Zay Flowers. Guys with hair apparently like Zay Flowers. All right, Jay's in here. Good morning, Jay. Is there a Rams RB we're starting this week? We're hoping not to, but if we have to, I think it was landing on nobody. Do we even get a consensus? Who would we, if we had to start one, who would it be?
Henderson.
Well, I guess, who do you feel
you broke
best,
it down pretty well.
Who do you feel best scoring a touchdown out of the group?
Darrell Henderson.
Okay.
I truly do. I think he's the best out of these 3, and Sean McVay showing so much kind of enthusiasm and confidence in that press conference made me just be like, oh, McVay just wants to go right back to him.
Yes.
To be fair, Sean,
the best shot at goal line, but that's where I stand. So
I'm going to say, to be fair, McVay's a confident and enthusiastic guy. So,
all right. Clayton's in here. Good morning, Clayton. PPR, need a flex. Flowers, Zach Moss, or Rashee Rice. And who has a better day, Zach Moss or Brian Robinson Jr.? I think Flowers would be our start here. But if you had to start Moss or Brian Robinson Jr., where would you guys land on that?
Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, I don't think there's even going against that Browns defense. Like, don't play your players against the Browns if you can avoid it.
That's easy. And guys, like, Jeff, you're always like keeping me like one toe in reality. Like, why is Flowers like a flex player? Because to me, I think he's a consistent wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 to start.
He's back in wide receiver 2 for me. I've got him, I think, in my top 24. So I've got him in wide receiver 2 range. I don't know that hesitate. I guess maybe because he hasn't had the touchdowns, but he scored last week. I mean, he's getting it's that Baltimore offense flows through Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers first and second, and then kind of everybody else just a little bit sprinkled around. But that's the way that they've structured so far.
Yeah. So PSA guys, if you have Flowers, you're probably going to be starting him unless you have your cup runneth over, as they say.
Is it the Cooper Cup if that cup runneth over? I don't know if
Yeah.
that's where
Thank
you're
you.
trying to go with
Thank
it.
you.
Okay. I don't know. All right, Waffles with this picture of pancakes. I always appreciate that for some reason. Ahoy! 1 point perception league. Curtis Samuel or Alexander Madison. He needs upside, and he's facing a 6-0 team that just picked up Josh Jacobs. If he needs upsides, would that be Curtis Samuel?
I mean, I think he might be.
I don't know how much it is.
You there? Yeah, I feel like this question, Madison is still getting like the dominant work share, and I understand the concerns about the 49ers, but I mean, Madison picks up 4 or 5 dump down passes and gets in the end zone. I don't think Curtis Samuel can come close to that.
Yeah, to me, like it's understanding where Samuel's floor and ceiling is. His floor is 0, very much 0, but his ceiling is like 14. That's a big game for Samuel's 14 points. So keep that in mind.
I really appreciate this comment. Disbanded Brotherhood, just period. Just wants us to know they're here. Hey, we're happy to have you here. Thanks for being here with us today. Chris Baines in here. Chris, currently slotting Royce Freeman over Jordan Mason in the Biocalypse. How do we guys feel about
that? We just got CMC news, so Freeman, Jeff, is it Freeman?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll have Freeman ranked above Mason in my ranks. So,
and I think that's a picture from Edward Norton and Rounders. I could be wrong on that though. Feels like a Rounders photo. All right, David Mayer. Good morning, Dave. That's really a professional avatar there. Craig Reynolds or Royce Freeman? Ooh, this is interesting. I think I would go Craig Reynolds here. That he is expected to play, and I would rather have, knowing what Dan Campbell does with his running backs, I'd rather have Craig Reynolds on the field.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right, Jay with another question starts it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Should have read that one. Sorry, Joe. KJ, Latavius Murray or Jordan Mason? It's Latavius Murray. That's Jeff's start of the week. Karen, another question. Lockett, Godwin, or Curtis Samuel? Pick 2. And Foreman, Samuels, or Osborne in the flex. It sounds like you picked Lockett already. Oh, you're muted, Jagger.
I was going to say he ranked him already. Like Lockett and Godwin are the 2 that you want to start. And then your flex. So you already did it. You already got Samuels in your flex. Look at you, man.
Yeah, you did it.
Foreman, to me, I think Foreman's the safer play. So I like that a little bit better than Samuel or Osborne.
Right, I agree. Jeff nodding there. Office Depot in here. AJ Dillon's been disappointing this season to kind of start out, or Daryl Henderson, which we don't really know much about in PPR. Jeff, where would you go if you had to pick one of those 2 guys?
AJ Dillon against that Broncos off defense.
Okay. Jagger, you agree?
Yes, but it's a coin flip.
Okay. All right. Well, let us be the coin flip for you there, Office Depot. All right. 6 passing points per touchdown. Stafford or Howell? And I'm way down facing ETN, Kirk, Michael Thomas to your Ridley. Wow, that's a tough beat there. If you need points, would you go Stafford or Howell?
If I really am swinging for upside, I think I go Howell against the Giants matchup. But I think Stafford's probably the better play.
Yeah, I agree. Howell is Blake Bortles. So just go in that with that mentality, and that can help you understand. Like Stafford can probably light it up. Howell has a lot of factors into him lighting it up. So,
and have we seen Sam Howell with his helmet off? Are we sure he is not actually Blake Bortles? Has that been confirmed, Jagger?
If anything, he's a Blake Bortles Mayfield baby. So,
oh, well, sweet of them to have a baby together.
Blake Bortles reminds me of The Good Place.
I live not far
does.
from where Blake Bortles grew up, and they named a street after him after that one great season.
Bortles,
and it's been kind of a running joke. Good morning, gents. I have the CMC dilemma. It might not be a dilemma. They're saying it looks like he's going to start. Should I pivot and pick up Jennings or Mason and drop Tony and Charbonnet, or just stand pat? I don't think it's a bad idea to. Man, Tony's looked decent last few
Jennings
weeks.
is not on the radar at all. Jennings' role doesn't change at all with Deebo Samuel out of the lineup. We saw that with Ayuk. He didn't change at all with Ayuk out of the lineup. He's just that third receiver that they use Raven McLeod kind of in that Deebo role with Deebo out. So it would be Mason, but yeah, I mean, I would stand pat, play CMC, and keep Tony and Charbonnet. They have much higher ceiling.
Okay. All right. All right. Jose in here. Full PPR league. Need a flex. Josh Downs, JSN, or McLaughlin. I have Lockett starting as my wide receiver too. So I know we've had a little bit of love for Jaleel McLaughlin. Is that where he wins this out this week?
So there's a lot of factors in here. Again, what Jeff was saying is if DK Metcalf plays, it drastically changes how I feel about JSN. But I'll give you an answer. If DK Metcalf does play, I actually don't hate Josh Downs as a flex play going forward, but I think McLaughlin is the safer play. If DK Metcalf does play, then JSN jumps above Downs, and I still think McLaughlin might be the safer play.
All right, tying here, Love or Stafford? And that's 4 points per passing touchdown. So not a 6 point per passing. Jeff, where are we at there?
I probably play Love. I like that rushing upside a little bit more. I like him against the Denver defense, like his chances to get into the end zone running the football.
Yeah, I knew where Jagger was on Love. I like Jordan Love a lot too. I picked him up a lot with the buy NATO or buy him again, whatever we're calling it, to have him play. And then Raiders or Washington DST.
What if you have a third option? I would say you don't play a defense at all. Unless you legally do. I'm being dead serious. Unless it's a bylaw, I have done that. I've just not played a defense. That is the third option. So I would look that up. If not, I think I lean Raiders because they are going against a bad quarterback. So
I ran into an interesting bylaw on the Discord this week where if a team doesn't start the full lineup, they have to lose their 4th round pick in next year's draft. I thought that was a little severe.
That is a little severe.
I don't know. I'm in a lot of leagues where people the lineup setting has gotten very, very lax very quickly.
A lot of 4th
like
round
to me,
picks
if it's blatant bad, and then Dynasty, it's a little bit more flexibility, but like if it's blatantly you're tanking and unethically, then I'll say something. But like if you mess up, I'm not going to say anything. So
yeah, we had a taking situation where somebody blatantly didn't set a lineup. They would have won by like 2 points had they put their bad options in, and they got called out this week. So
well, call them out, commissioners. All right, not a sidewalk. Well, I would be confused if you were, because how would you be typing? Elijah Mitchell, Kenneth Gainwell, or Rashad White? Half PPR needs 1.
Oof.
Where are we at on that, Jagger?
Rashad White.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Diego Lopez, Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason, or Darrell Henderson. So it looks like it's between Mitchell and Henderson here. He's got to hold and play one, or just cry. I don't think crying's bad.
You can always cry, but Henderson as well. Like,
I'll Mitchell above Henderson.
Okay. Oh, this is a good reminder there. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video, and subscribe to the channel, not the video. This is the only video like this. So if you subscribe to this video, just watch this one on a loop, and that's not good because that won't help you next week. But subscribe to the channel, and then you get to watch this every week. So that's good. Kenneth Kidwell, good morning. Talk me out of playing Drake London and sitting Metcalf. I think it's a safe play. If Metcalf doesn't play,
I'm not going to talk you out of that.
Play.
I have Drake London ranked above Metcalf this week.
Yeah. So good luck, Kenneth.
We had a little love for the Bills in here for Jeff.
That's right.
So was good
job,
see.
Michael.
Massachusetts football guy just picked up Josh Downs to replace Kareem Hunt. What do you guys think? Kareem Hunt doesn't play. Yep. Jagger's got it. Thumbs up there. JB, start 2. Oh, Bagnet, Brian Hoyer or Tyrod Taylor. What 2 would you do? Thanks in advance. It'd be Hoyer and Tyrod for me.
Ugh. Yes. Yeah. That does not make you feel good.
Bill Brown in here. Bill's got a nice mustache. Would you start in all caps? He needs to know, guys. Would you start Dubs or Jahmyr Gibbs as a flex? It'd be Gibbs for me, even though I do love Romeo.
You got to shout your answer back. Establish dominance. No,
Jack made a good point on Zay Flowers, but I think Jahmyr Gibbs falls in that range too. Jahmyr Gibbs is running back 1 for me this week between the bye apocalypse, but we saw week 3 when David Montgomery was out. They really just gave the ball to Gibbs over and over again, and I think that's where I land on that. I think that's. I don't know. It's just not even a question between these two. I think that you need to be evaluating Gibbs as a piece to put into your lineup if he's active today.
Yep.
All right. DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, or CMC? Now that's interesting because those are 2 really good options. And if on the off chance CMC doesn't play, or are you just still rolling CMC?
rolling CMC, and I make sure I have a backup option of your available options. So
yeah, I don't think he can miss out on those CMC points if he plays. All right, bye week tragedy. Riding an elephant, so it can't be that much of a tragedy because that's pretty cool. I've never ridden an elephant before. Russell Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, or Baker Mayfield with contusion.
I think I'm going the
Jagger?
safe play Russell Wilson here. I don't love the matchup today with Baker. So to me, I'm going with safety and Tyrod Taylor. Even with we say like he has rushing, that still gives us like 17 points most of the time.
yeah, and Wilson's been a low end QB1 in half of his games so far this year, and I feel like there may be some lingering feelings off that Thursday night game against the Chiefs, but he has been productive for fantasy.
Yeah. I just think the Falcons are a solid defense that like continually kind of suppress a fantasy output. So,
all right. Well, Jeff, I think this is the point we say goodbye to you today.
I will
That's
try
always
not to
sad.
end the stream. So
I wasn't going to call you out on it. I wasn't going to mention it. So you did.
So everybody can keep asking their questions. And sorry about that this week, but thank you
Jeff,
guys. Have a great day.
Have
Good
a great
luck to
Sunday
everybody out there. So see ya.
All right. Let's bring
Bye,
Adam
Jeff.
up. And guys, make sure to go out there and follow For Whom J Bell Tolls on Twitter. Jeff is a great resource every week. Adam, welcome in.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How was your Saturday? Was it good? Your weekend been good?
Yeah, it's been great. How about you guys?
Good.
Yeah.
Can't complain. First snap hasn't happened yet, so ask me after the 1 o'clock game start. So.
Fair enough.
Well, Adam, we have you here for many reasons, but one of the big reasons is you're going to break down some of these injuries for us. So let's take a look at these inactives, actives, and what we know so far. So out today that we know for sure: Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Fields, Roschon Johnson, David Montgomery, Kyler Murray, Pat Freiermuth, Kyron Williams, Greg Dulcich, and Deebo Samuel. And there's two big names in there for me that I think there's one kind of a future play. With Kyler Murray, how soon do you think we could see him on the field this season?
So a lot of the reports are talking about early November. The Cardinals have been really conservative with the approach that they've handled Kyler Murray with. I talked about earlier this offseason that I thought he was somebody that I thought could be ready to start the regular season. A lot of the hoopla around him has just been around the Cardinals on kind of what situation there is as a franchise. We know they're, not actively tanking, but basically tanking to try to get a higher draft pick. I've talked a lot about this offseason with Kyler Murray, his rushing production, what I thought it could be. I think personally, I have him projected for a career low in rush attempts and yards per carry, which obviously elevates Kyler Murray's floor. It sounds like he's going to come back. It might not be next week, but it sounds like it's going to be here shortly. I think he's an interesting fantasy football quarterback, but again, I don't know if that rushing floor that people have become so accustomed to is going to be there with Kyler.
Perfect. And as far as Deebo Samuels goes, do we think he will be back next week, or do you think the 49ers hold him out until after the bye?
All the reports I've seen are that he's likely going to be out until after the bye week. He's dealing with a hairline fracture. It sounds like in his clavicle. Fractures can take 3 to 4 weeks to heal. So I don't even know if necessarily he's going to be back week 10. I think week 11, week 12 makes a little bit more sense, but that's currently where I have Deebo Samuel projected to come back.
Fantastic. All right. Not expected to play today. We broke down some of these guys earlier. Daniel Jones, not expected to play. Zach Charbonnet, and I think that might have been made official. I saw an alert pop up with his name. And Myles Gaskin, not expected to play today. Questionable, Kareem Hunt, DK Metcalf, and Christian McCaffrey. Now, we have had some reports coming through, even during the show earlier today, that Christian McCaffrey will play tomorrow. I think we're all pretty consensus saying, like, make sure you have a backup just in case we get Aaron Jones again. Because I got Aaron Jones real hard 2 weeks ago, and I'm still dealing with it every day. But DK Metcalf, Adam, what are we expecting from DK Metcalf? Is he going to play? If he does play, should we see a reduction in his normal play? What are we thinking here?
So the last thing that I saw last night is DK Metcalf's going to give it. He's going to try to play. He's going to test it out in warmups. He's dealing with a rib injury that he's been dealing with since week 2. He's been playing through. I think because he's been playing through that injury, we can assume that he's not dealing with a rib type fracture that comes down to pain tolerance. His mechanism of injury by video for the hip looked like it's a hip pointer. Typically, hip pointers don't really limit NFL players in terms of games missed. They are extremely painful. So when you take into account the rib and the hip injury, I think that's where some of the skepticism is around Deebo Samuel playing this week. I personally told Football Guys subscribers that he was going to be active today because based on all the injury data that I have, I think he is somebody that's going to be available. I did want to make a note quickly about Christian McCaffrey. I mean, obviously we're playing Christian McCaffrey if he's active. A lot of the data that I've looked at for skill position players dealing with this type of core muscle injury, limited snaps, 24% reduction in fantasy football production the first game back, on average 3 games back, 19% decrease in fantasy football production. I think all that means is Jordan Mason and Elijah Mitchell have a role. Like, I think they're certainly flex-worthy options, even though it's a Monday night game. We're not benching Christian McCaffrey if we have Christian McCaffrey, but if you picked up Jordan Mason, if you picked up Elijah Mitchell in some deeper leagues, I'd be okay flexing them this week.
Okay. Excellent. And expected to play today: Deshaun Watson, Aaron Jones, Darrell Henderson, Julio Jones making his debut with the Eagles. We'll see if that means anything. Craig Reynolds and Mecole Hardman over on the Chiefs now. Adam, is there anybody else that we should keep an eye on that I have not mentioned here today? Hopefully I did my research well this morning. I was putting these players.
I'm scrolling through what I have here on the website. Deontay Johnson's another one I got some questions about coming off of IR. A lot of the data that I have for wide receivers coming off of hamstring injuries, they typically return to form. So there's a lot of bye weeks. We got the Bengals on bye. We got the Cowboys on bye. Deontay Johnson's been somebody that you're holding on to. I'm okay playing him in fantasy football lineups. And I think that's the only one that we didn't really talk about. Perfect.
All right, guys. What do you say we get back into some questions?
Let's get it.
Can I do it? Okay, good. I just want to make sure you guys are okay with that. All right, Jimmy Jones in here. PPR, who to start? Jacoby Myers or DJ Moore or Ramondre Stevenson? So 2 wide receivers and a running back. Jagger, where would you be going if we had to start only one of those guys today?
Ramondre Stevenson is the safest play here. I think that's where you got to go. The other 2 guys have backup quarterbacks throwing them the ball, so keep that in mind.
Feel good about that one, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I live in the Chicagoland area, and it's really hard not to play anyone playing against the Bears because they are absolutely terrible. So I would be okay with Jacoby Myers. He's certainly been hot in the past couple of weeks, but I do agree with Jagger's point that Stevenson's the safer option.
All right. Jack's got a little bit of a line of question here for us. He's got DK Metcalf in the flex. He's nervous about starting him. Should he start Jonathan Taylor in the early game or wait to find out about Metcalf? And you can always play Rashee Rice if Metcalf sits. Adam, how do you feel about that strategy?
I don't think I'd be benching DK Metcalf for Jonathan Taylor. I know Jonathan Taylor's had, kind of a slow beginning here, but I'm pulling up his snap share the last couple of weeks. It's definitely been going up, and Zach Moss's snap share has been going down as they've been easing him in. So Jonathan Taylor, first week back, 15% of snaps. Last week, 42% of snaps. I expect that number to continue to increase, especially because the Indianapolis Colts gave Jonathan Taylor that big lucrative contract. They want to use him. It's a tough matchup with Cleveland, but I'm playing Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, the Cleveland matchup what kind of makes me nervous here. I don't mind holding off and seeing if Metcalf doesn't play, plugging Rice in there. Like that's about how worried I am about this Browns defense. Jagger, where are you at?
I'm with you. Like Joey, you kind of said it to me. It's like it's not Jonathan Taylor in a vacuum because like almost any other week it would be smash play Jonathan Taylor over DK Metcalf. But like the Browns are just that's the one thing they got going for them right now is defense. So,
all right, Devin's got a question: the RB2 for the Lions or the wide receiver 1 for the Patriots? So Kendrick Bourne or Craig Reynolds? Where are we going, Jagger?
Kendrick Bourne right now. And you said it. It's the Bills. That's going to be an ugly game. And even last week, I said on a different show that you should be sitting Mac Jones, but Kendrick Bourne is getting the volume, and they always seem to be playing from behind. I wonder why. And I think that alone is the reason why he'll get targets. So I definitely like the ceiling of Kendrick Bourne over Craig Reynolds.
All right. PC in here asking, are we starting Zach Evans? Not if we don't have to. If you're abs because of the by NATO or the by Mageddon, if you are forced to start him, you can. I'm hoping you have better options there. John, need one running back. CMC questions. Yeah. Well, it sounds like he's going to play, and you've got Elijah Mitchell. So I think you've got a good scenario there. I think if CMC doesn't play, you just plug Mitchell in. All right. Jaleel or Zach Evans, non-PPR. Adam, I know how Jagger feels about this one.
Yeah, it's easily McLaughlin over Zach Evans. It sounds like Zach Evans is going to be backing up Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson.
Mm-hmm. All right. Pick one, Jalen Warren or Foreman? Jagger, where are we at on that?
It's just a ceiling and foreplay. I think I'm going with Jalen Warren.
Adam,
Agreed.
would you go Foreman or would you? Okay.
Agreed. I would go with Jalen Warren as well.
All right, Carl. Oh. Carl's weighing in on the he's a dog guy. We had a question: dogs or cats? Adam, where do you land on that? Dogs or cats?
I got 2 golden retrievers.
Oh, you've got the best dogs too. Wow.
Yep.
Man, you got like a stock image photo. Then you got your 2 golden retrievers booking in the family photo.
Oh yeah.
So Jaleel McLaughlin, Foreman, or does Ingram? Does Ingram get into this mix at all, or is it still Jaleel?
It's Jaleel for me still.
Okay. And then Kadarius Toney, if Metcalf can't go, I think that's a good option. If Metcalf doesn't play, you've got someone to plug in there. Not everybody has that. I don't know if I can subscribe to the 0 RB is always the way. Redraft and dynasty, running backs go down too often to some degree, but don't pass value up. All right. Andrew Webster. Hey fellas, in PPR, would you start Christian Watson, George Pickens, or Deontay Johnson coming off the IR? So 3 good options there. Adam, which one of these guys are you starting?
I'm looking up the Christian Watson one. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards Christian Watson just because I like big ceiling plays. They're at Denver. I love that matchup. I would go with Christian Watson.
That ball's just going to float in the air there in that high altitude. All right, Jagger. Full PPR bench 1 running back between Jonathan Taylor, Alexander Madison, Rashad White, and Foreman. Only bench one of those guys. Okay. My Buccaneers heart bleeds because of what you said, but I sadly probably agree. All right. Cole Kmet or Henderson in a PPR flex position, it looks like. And he's setting his lineup on top of that elephant, so he needs to know before he gets bucked off. I'd probably go Cole Kmet. I feel like his role is a little more solid.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go Henderson a little bit. It's not like you're right about role. It's Bagent or Bagent, whatever. Bagman. I don't know.
And let's find out how deep our Rashad White dislike goes this week. Michael Wilson or Rashad White in full PPR? Adam, where are we at?
I'm playing Rashad White. I mean, he hasn't been great this year, but he's at least been solid, and he's pretty much commanded all the backfield touches to himself. I know people this offseason were worried about Sean Tucker. That really hasn't come to fruition. So I'm playing Rashad White here.
All right.
I think I like Wilson by a smidge, but that's me chasing points. Like what he said is right. Like that's the safe play here, but I'd whisk it for the biscuit with Wilson.
Yeah. Jagger, we've never known him to be a safe fantasy player. He's always all right. Good morning. Happy PR. Michael Mayer or Musgrave for tight end? It would be Musgrave for me. I do like what we saw out of Mayer last week, but I think Musgrave's got a great matchup this week. And I see some nodding heads, so we'll pop to the next question. Morning, Frank. Josh Dobbs or so this is a super flex question, or Tyson there. Ooh. I would go Dobbs over Tyson.
100%.
Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking, we got that question answered. And he's a Hendo believer Office Depot. Curtis Samuel or Jordan Addison today? Where are we at on that?
Addison.
Agreed.
Yeah, tough matchup, but I think I would start Addison over Samuels as well. Trey, Henderson or Mason? With the CMC news, Henderson might be a little more appealing in this situation. Jagger, read on that.
I think I'm in on Henderson this whole time. I like him as a low end RB2 flex play.
And then morning from Seattle. Oh, probably have a nice cup of coffee. So we got Romeo Doubs, Gabe Davis, or Jaleel McLaughlin in the flex. Romeo Doubs was my start of the week this week. But I probably would play Gabe Davis in this situation just for that upside. Adam, where are you at?
I mean, Gabe Davis is on an absolute heater right now. It would be really, really hard for me to take him out of lineups.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And like the Patriots are good at taking away the number one option, but what does that leave Gabe Davis? So like I like Dubs. He's a safe play, but Gabe Davis, I got to eat it this year, man. Like maybe this was a year that Gabe Davis was worth what he was last year. So
I think he was just getting drafted where he should have been this year. I think that's what was last year. He was going a third round. It was like, come on. All right, yeah. Grant's got a tough start set question here. Puka, Cooper Kupp, or Tyler Lockett? Oof. Adam, where are we at, buddy?
Standard scoring. This is honestly a really tough scenario. I think I would bench Tyler Lockett. I mean, I know Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp kind of eat into each other a little bit. But those are the guys in Los Angeles, and with the running back situation they're dealing with, and it's kind of me a committee, I could see them throwing a lot this week. So I'd be playing both Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Sit and lock it.
Tracy, with Browns or Raiders, I think it's a pretty safe Browns. That defense looks stout this year.
Yep.
Randy, pick one for your flex, Addison or Lockett. It'll be Lockett for me. Jagger, where are you at on that?
Lockett, same.
And then needs one running back. Morning, the Swartzy 911. Between the three, Zach Moss, Foreman, or Stevenson. So it needs one running back between the three. So I think it's pretty
Stevenson.
Comfortable Stevenson.
Yeah.
And then, this is tough. Chris Godwin or Zay Flowers in a half PPR league. Sean, this is going to be a tough question for me.
Still Flowers for me, I think. Again, it's like I think that the Falcons have a solid defense, so, and right now I like the Lions. Again, we were joking with Jeff, this could be the Ravens Lions game could be a trap game, but I'm willing to fall for it. So
yeah, two tough defenses, not you wouldn't normally think, but they pretty much are. Adam, where do you go? Godwin or Flowers?
I mean, I didn't want to confuse Sean, so I was going to stay muted, but I would go with Godwin, and it's not, I don't have any analytical reasoning behind it. I just feel like there's a Chris Godwin week coming. Like, he's been very solid the last couple of weeks. We haven't heard much out of Chris Godwin. I feel like the big week's coming here soon.
My creamsicle heart believes in you, Adam, and I want it to be true. I want Chris Godwin to have a huge game today.
I got you, buddy.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Andrew Webster loves my Criterion and Blu-ray collection in the background. Thank you for knowing what the Criterion collection is. My wife wishes that I didn't know what it was because I've spent many, many dollars on that. All right. Thank you guys. With Zay, how would you drop Deontay Johnson for JSN or Michael Mayer? No. If it was Dynasty, of course I would drop him for JSN, but that wasn't the question. All right. James Cook, Josh Downs, JSN over Bourne. Or Bourne. Okay. James Cook. It would be James Cook. Yeah. For me.
Yeah.
All right. Moss or Foreman. I think we're pretty clear on Foreman on this one earlier. Ingram, Elliott, McLaughlin, or Craig Reynolds in the RB2 slot. Adam, where are we going on that one?
I think I'm going with Jaleel McLaughlin. I mean, he's definitely the most explosive player on this list. If you're looking for a big play, it doesn't say if it's PPR, but if it was PPR, that would definitely push it over the top for me too, as McLaughlin's been pretty involved in the screen game for the Broncos. Standard scoring, it might shift it a little bit, but I'm going to go with Jaleel McLaughlin.
Being on that, Jagger?
I think it's Jaleel McLaughlin for me as well. But like I said earlier, I think Jaleel McLaughlin is even with Javonte, he's a weekly flex player at this point. So,
All right, Sean, long term, would you go Freeman or Henderson? this week, I was saying Henderson was the long-term play. The rest of the season play would be Darrell Henderson, at least for the next 4 weeks, while Kyren Williams is on the IR. Jagger, where do you land on this? Would you rather have Freeman or Henderson for the next few weeks until Williams comes back?
Still Hendo, baby.
Yep. Okay. And then Craig Reynolds, Kendrick Bourne, Latavius Murray.
Murray.
Okay, and that was our Jeff Bell was on with us early. That was his start of the week. He really likes Latavius Murray this week.
What is dead may never die.
Hawkinson versus San Francisco or Goddard versus Smash Miami with a hobbling Devonta Smith. I have Hawkinson as to my tight end 5 this week. And that's as low as I've had him at all this season. Would you guys rather play Goddard or Hawkinson today?
Yes, because of Fred Warner.
Yeah, I like the Miami matchup, playing Dallas Goedert in what should be a pretty high scoring game.
I hope.
Thank you, Adam. You're a positive man. You don't have Jeff's negativity bringing it down. It's gonna be a big game.
I know we'll never probably get another Chiefs Rams Monday night game that we had a few years back.
Oh
but
yeah.
Come on, let's get it tonight. Let's get to like 48-45 tonight. Miami and Philadelphia. All right. Leo, showing a little love this morning in his photo. That's nice to see. Rashad White, or my name is Jeff Wilson. I would go Rashad White here. Here's where I would pivot away from, because Jeff Bell said it earlier. We need to see it from Jeff Wilson.
I agree. You're going to feel bad about Rashad White, but it's like realistic. And then if Jeff Wilson springs one for a TD, you do what fantasy analysts do, and you just tell yourself in the mirror the process was there.
All right, guys. We got about another 10 minutes. I do that far too often. We got about 10 minutes left of questions. We're gonna hit some more here. Cortland Sutton or Kendrick Bourne? Adam, where are you laying on this?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sutton's at least shown something. Kendrick Bourne had a big week 1, but we haven't really seen a whole lot from him since then. So I'd be laying Cortland Sutton.
Guys, go ahead and make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's us football guys know you love us and love the company and the show, and that always keeps the lights on, so we appreciate that. All right, Matthew McConnell. Hey, guys, Zay Flowers or Tyler Lockett in half PPR? 2 really good options here. Matthew, find a way to get both these guys in your lineup today. Both of them should have good games. But if we have to pick one, Jagger, where are we going?
Man, I will die on the Flowers hill. You know, Joey, what I'm going to say.
I drove by the Ravens Stadium last weekend. Zay was not there, though.
Oh. I was going to say put flowers on my grave if I'm wrong. Pun intended. But I'm crushing it this morning.
We bring the humor. What can I say? Kevin in here. Good morning, Kevin. Full PPR. Need a flex. Javonte Williams, Jonnu Smith, Romeo Doubs. Adam, where do you fall on this one?
Oh, man. I have been a wet blanket on Javonte Williams, so I'm not going there. I'm torn between Dobbs or Jonnu Smith. I probably would lean Dobbs by a small hair, just because we saw some life from Kyle Pitts last week. They finally started to get him involved in the passing game. I could see that hurting Jonnu Smith a little bit, but it's close. It's between those two for me for sure.
It'd be Dobbs for me. He's my start of the week. I think he's going to get it rolling today and be great. Rest of the season for the Packers. And Frank in here with another question. Better day. Which one of those guys has the better day? I would say Dobbs. Trouble mine. Superflex. Half PPR. Yeah. Tyrod Taylor with O-line issues or Washington pivot to start Lockett or Cooper even with Goddard. There's a lot of things going on there. So should he take Tyrod Taylor out of his super flex spot and plug in Lockett, Cooper, even Goddard? Or you guys?
I would. I know people love starting quarterback in their super flex slot, but I didn't see a lot from Tyrod Taylor last week. Washington's got a pretty good defense. These are some good options, assuming it's PPR, that you could pivot to a non-quarterback in your super flex.
I agree, and like I'm in saying this. Actually, I remember Jeff Bell saying this like 1 or 2 years ago. Just because it's super flex, it is super flex, not to start QB. You can put other options
Mhm.
there, like these low floor quarterbacks. I've been saying that Mac Jones, if he's your QB2, sorry, he's a QB3, and you should put like if you're in tight end premium, put a tight end there, put anybody else there. So
All right. Super Kelly, Lockett or DJ Moore is the first. She's got 3 sets here of questions for us. So Lockett or DJ Moore.
lock it.
Lock it.
Yeah. And sorry, Kelly, if you are a male, I apologize for assuming you were a female with the name Kelly. That's on me. Gino or Sam Howell?
Sam.
Sam. I
Yep.
like both these guys today, but probably Sam Howell. And then Gibbs or Madison. It's gonna be Gibbs for me for sure.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Gibble. So
And we have another weather phenomenon by hurricane. That's what you could call it that too. And the flex, Tyler Lockett or Jordan Addison. I think it was Tyler Lockett for us earlier when we got that. And then Jahmyr Gibbs or James Cook. It'd be Gibbs for me. Jagger, where are you at on that one?
still Gibbs. Again,
Okay.
the one thing the Patriots have rolling for them is a solid defense, and the Lions have a good offense and nobody else. So
Got some good news, guys. Danny is a new subscriber. Congratulations, Danny. Your life
Thanks,
has
Danny.
just gotten so much better. So much better.
Uh,
So
I assume you live in Seattle.
yeah, that is that or is that Toronto? No, that is Seattle. Okay, because there's or it could be Las Vegas. They've got one in Vegas too. There's all kinds of space.
I'm also dumb with geography, so I could be like Dallas. I don't know.
No, I think that's Lululemon Stadium that I see behind
okay.
the Space Needle. So I think that is Seattle. All right. And a troubled mind crying is the equivalent to cats purring. Okay. We've learned something new every day. And then Patrick. Oh, Patrick's got the best picture so far today. That's a good boy right there. Pick 2 wide receivers, Jalen Reed, Josh Reynolds, or Tutu Atwell. Those are 3 names that I don't think have come up once today. Adam, where are we going between those 3 guys?
Oh man, I'm torn between Tutu Atwell and Jaden Reed, to be honest with you. I've never really been a big Josh Reynolds guy. I know he's having a nice year in Detroit, but with Jameson Williams back, I suspect that definitely hampers his ceiling. I'm gonna go with Tutu Atwell, and I don't feel really confident about it. I'm sorry, Patrick, but that's where I'm at.
I saw Jagger's glasses about fly off his face. Who would you go here, Jagger?
I think I'm going. It's to me. I'm choosing between Reed and Atwell. Like I think Reynolds is like I like Reynolds right now, and I could be wrong. To me, Reynolds is a ceiling play. Weirdly enough, Reynolds has been like their big play guy. I don't know how long that lasts. So I think actually Adam's right. After I've rationalized and played the mental gymnastics, I think it is Jaden Reed and Atwell for me as well. Sorry that took me so long to come around.
No worries. No worries. The Rock is in here. Need 3 out of 4. Pittman Jr., Ayuk, Pickens, or Michael Wilson on PBR. I think I'd be sitting Michael Wilson out of all those groups. Even though I don't like Pittman's matchup, I'm still going to play Pittman over Wilson.
Agreed.
I agree. Like, I wouldn't hate you for getting cute and benching Pickens for Wilson, just to see. But again, that's a risk. That's risky business.
All right. It's going to be Deontay Johnson for me in this one, or Keontae Ingram. Deontay, might struggle a little bit coming back, but still should be a little bit better. And we got a Hoove is coming straight for you, Jagger. Does not want to talk to Adam and I.
Every show.
Yeah. Who's a good guy? He's a good guy, though.
Yeah.
Should you trade Kyler Murray in
Kyler.
Dynasty? Okay.
Yeah, you should trade for Kyler Murray, but he really wants Murray to be in Boston. So,
another reason to subscribe to our channel. Jeff's been on fire with Matt Wallman on Thursday nights. It's been a great time on Thursdays. So make sure if you are subscribed, check that out on Thursdays for sure.
It's definitely a good show. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. I mean, I tuned in a couple of times and it's like it's not your typical fantasy football advice. It's a little bit deeper and it's good stuff.
All right. This is going to be our last question. We're going to get out of here. Chris Godwin or Foreman in the flex. 2 players we've liked a bit today. Adam, I'm going to give you the floor first. Godwin or Foreman, where are we going?
It seems like everyone on this show has like a start of the week, and I don't come out with rankings, but I think I'm going to unofficially make Chris Godwin my start of the week. I feel like we're getting a Chris Godwin game coming.
I started the start of the week thing today. So next week, Adam, your homework, you bring a start of the week, and I'll get a little banner for you too. Jagger, do you agree? Or are you going Foreman here?
Yeah, I'm going with Godwin. I'm chasing the points. Like Deontay Foreman is a floor play this week. So let's just keep it reasonable with, even though everyone's hurt in Chicago.
All right, guys, just make sure you head over to footballguys.com and check out our weekly rankings. Always 100% free, featuring Sigmund Bloom, Dave Kluge, Alfredo Brown, Jeff Bell, and myself. My rankings are up there now. But we're not done answering questions today as a company. Head over to our Discord and the Sunday kickoff channel, where Corey will be answering all of your start sit questions up to kickoff. And I'm going to throw the link here in the chat before we head out of here. Guys, any parting words for us today?
No. Good luck, guys. Let's all suffer together.
All right. We just popped the link there in the chat to the Discord. So head over there. And if you've got any more start sit questions, guys, have a great day.
Peace.